This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net for our closing markets. But first, I bring you some comments from Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican from Iowa, as he discusses the potential for market disruption payments that have been brought on because of the tariff trade war, and Senator Grassley's comments made during his weekly ag conference call.
Well, the response was a suggestion from the Secretary of Agriculture, something that President Trump did before, and also my own answer. First of all, it starts with what we all know is that when we put tariffs on a country and they want to retaliate, it most often starts with retaliation against agriculture. And we got to be alert to that because we've even heard those things this time. I don't know that there's been that retaliation yet, but I suppose you'd say there is in China because China has closed down most of our coming in, but we haven't had the economic impact felt yet. Now, Secretary Rollins said that we'll do like the first Trump administration did, give money out of the federal treasury. Now, I start after saying that by saying what we all know about American farmers. They want to get their money from the marketplace and not from the federal treasury. So then I tell them about the idea I floated to Trump indirectly through talking to his EPA. And this maybe only affects soybeans to the greatest extent, but indirectly it affects corn to a little bit because there are some corn byproducts that go into biodiesel. So, I should say ethanol byproducts that go into biodiesel. So I'm suggesting, like Senator Ernst and I think we have a good deal of Republican support on this, we want EPA to undo the harm that the Biden administration did to biodiesel, which resulted in the shutting down of dozens of plants around the country and at least 5 in Iowa. All these people are unemployed. Get the biodiesel tax plants up and running by undoing the $3 1/10 billion RVOs that the Biden administration did for 3 or 4 years and make that $5 3/10 billion RVOs. And we got the capability of producing it, capability of using whatever soybeans won't be going to China now, and get the plants up and running. And that isn't going to solve all the potential problems that can come from retaliation against agriculture, but it go a big ways, particularly in soybeans.
That was United States Senator Chuck Grassley here on Ag Matters PM. It is time now for the closing markets. I will be joined by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. But first, a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff. You're watching Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
You're watching Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and it is time now for closing markets, and I'm joined by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Jason, what did we see in the trade in the grains today?
The grain market was pretty ugly today. Really no specific reason given for the big market drop, but we have corn down about 14 and beans are off about 11. Just feels like there's heavy volume today. Managed money came in and did some selling as the market accelerated to the downside, but kind of a day nobody had on their bingo card here.
And to that point, Jason, sometimes when we see market movement and we can't necessarily point to a specific thing, sometimes it does come out then a little bit later that there's something happening behind the scenes. Do we think that's the case here at all? Or do you think maybe it's just the fact that planting is moving along and getting those crops in the ground, maybe those concerns drifting away, and I guess maybe that's reflecting in the marketplace?
Yeah, and planting came out yesterday. Corn planting was at 24% complete, so that was right in line. And bean planting is maybe a little bit further ahead than people thought at 18%. But there's got to be a little bit more to the story on the reason why the market was a little bit lower. And you could argue we've been hearing discussion on trade negotiations between the U.S. and multiple countries. So maybe there was a trade negotiation that broke down that we are not aware of quite yet.
And then when we look at the weather here, especially locally in the state of Iowa, we've had quite a bit of instances of rainfall here recently that is helping to replenish that soil moisture, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm over here in western Iowa. We've gotten some rain, but we could sure use a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of the subsoil moisture for the initial start of the spring and the summer season, we do have enough moisture here in the state of Iowa, it appears.
Let's go over to the other side of the ag marketplace now, the livestock complex. How did the cattle and hogs trade today?
So the cattle market started the day off higher, but really fell off its highs. Now the fat cattle continue to make new highs on the move. And there's a lot of thought process today that cattle would be under pressure because the U.S. and Mexico are coming together on the screwworm issue. There was going to be a ban on Mexican cattle imports on April 30th, but that seems to have been alleviated. And then the hog market had made a new contract high yesterday, but did not have any follow-through buying today. So there's some hope that some of these trade talks we're going to be able to maybe open some new export markets for pork. But just with the technicals yesterday making the new high, selling off, I think we just had some follow-through selling on the hog market today.
Jason, what's the best way for our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
Check us out at agmarket.net and give myself or one of my teammates a call, and we'd be happy to speak with you.
Jason Meyer of agmarket.net, our guest here today. Jason, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it, and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Mark. Take care, everyone.
Thank you to Jason Meyer of agmarket.net for joining today's show. Let's take a look at the closing numbers, how the market numbers finished today. And you can find that information anytime under the Markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com.
May corn closes down 15 cents at 460.5. May soybeans down 11 cents at 1041 even. May soybean meal up $3.50 at $2.90.50. May soybean oil down $1.06 at $48.85. Chicago wheat down 9 3/4 at $5.05 3/4. Minneapolis wheat up 14 cents at $6.04 even. Kansas City hard red wheat down 9 1/2 at $5.15 1/4. May oats up 12 cents at $3.81 1/4. On the Merc, June live cattle up 60 cents at $210.20. May feeder cattle up $2.22 at $294.02. May lean hogs down 40 cents at $92.55. May pork cutout down 25 cents at $102.15. Class 3 milk up 7 cents at $18.37.
That does it for our closing markets for today and brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Click on the notification icon to let you know whenever there's any new videos available from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. Also, check out our morning, midday, and closing market podcast, as well as daily episodes of our Iowa Ag Matters podcast at Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.